Hey buddy, what's happening? So listen, I just want to show you your new gun here. This is the Etha 3. It's the upgrade from the Etha 2 that you were using. Um, I got this case for you because unfortunately Planet Eclipse doesn't send cases anymore, which is kind of sad. So you have it. So I'll unpack the gun, I'll show it to you, show you how to do the setup for it. Everything you kind of need to know, and then that way when you go out to play, you'll know how to use it. So this is your gun here, all right? And then you have your barrel here. So when you put the barrel together, you know how it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey? Well, only not where you put the barrel together. When you put the barrel together, it's actually going to be lefty-tighty, just to screw it together. So you actually have to screw it the opposite way, just to put the barrel together. Once the barrel's together, you can put it in the gun. That's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So you just kind of end up screwing it in, okay? So that'll get your gun together, all right? And then this is your gun, all right? And what you'll have is you'll have your tank that comes with it. Your tank also has a grip on it, which isn't on it right now, but when you put it on, what I recommend is take a little, maybe like a little lubricant, like a little Vaseline or something, just to put around the thing. It'll make it easier to twist it on, because once it's on there good, it'll kind of stick to you, so you'll be able to move around okay. Your tank also comes with a little cap like this. I recommend keeping the cap, because if you lose the cap, the threads can get all dinged up. It's not very good for the gun, because eventually it may not screw into it. So you're just going to take it and you're going to screw it in there like so. All right. And what you have in this gun is you have to set it up. So what happens is when you end up turning it on, when you put it on, the air is not initially connected. You have this thing called an ASA. This is what lets the air into the regulator and then into the gun. So what you have to do is you're gonna push it in, and you'll hear it'll make like a pop sound. It's actually called a pops. That's the name of it, all right? And so now your gun has air going into it. When you release it, it's easy. There's just a little button here. All you do is you push the button and that disarms it. So when you go to play, you screw the tank in and you pop it in, all right? When you're done playing for the day, before you go take everything apart, the first thing you do, just push the little button, and there you go. It lets out all the air, okay? So then you have your hopper, all right? I gave you the same one as that I have. It's a Dye LTR. It's holds like 100 and some odd rounds. It's decent, has a good feed, it's reliable. But you're gonna have to know how to like change the batteries and put it on and things. So first I'll just show you how to put it on. So you have your gun here, all right? You have like a little feed neck here. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna open that little lever. You see it just kind of opens and closes. It kind of flips over in an open and close pattern. And you're just gonna unscrew it a little bit, just to give the feed neck a little bit of width, okay? Once you do that, you're gonna just take your hopper, you put it on there. Sometimes you have to actually unscrew it quite a bit before it'll actually go on there. So, especially since this is right out of the box, once it's at where you want it, then it's easier. But you have it unscrewed, so now it'll be easy for you. And then once you have it on there, you just click the button forward and it'll lock it on there. If it's loose, all you do is you just pull the clip open like this, and then you can just turn it to loosen it or tighten it depending on how you want. You don't want it too tight. You don't want it to be squeezed in there. You just want it tight enough where it's not gonna fall off or really move on you, okay? So this is the gun itself. You take your pods, your paintballs, and the way I like to load it is I just turn it up like this, shake it down, and then turn it back up, okay? If you just try to pour them in on the speed feed, they just kind of spill all over the place. I know when you watch people playing, they do that all the time, but So that's what'll happen. All right. And then, so you have that, you have your hopper, your tank is on. So you take it, tank's on, you take it, you push it in, it's ready to go. All right. Now you got to turn your gun on. All right. So to turn the gun on, there's a little button right here. It's only on one side. It's only on this side. And what you do is you're going to push that button, and then you'll see a light turn on. So yellow means there's nothing in the chamber. So what you have to do is you have to turn on the hopper. So there's a little button back here. You turn on the hopper, right? So now the hopper's on. Now the button's blue. The gun is now ready to fire, okay? So anytime it's like this, it's ready to fire. When you finish a match, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take the button and you're gonna hold it down until it turns red. You'll see it turn red, and then you can let go. That turns the gun off, okay? So now your gun is off, all right? When we go to, then when you finish the round also, turn off your hopper, it just saves the battery, all right? I'm gonna pop the ASA because I don't want this thing to shoot. So that's your gun, all right? And when you go to take it apart at the end of the day to get rid of the paintballs, just flip the top like this. And then what you can do is, I like to take the gun sideways like this and just twist it, because there's always a couple of rounds in the breech over here, right in here, and they'll end up spilling all over the table, and you don't have to lose the rounds if you don't need them. So you just kind of slowly take off the hopper, and then you just spill them out of the gun right into the thing. Now, of course, you end up having a lot of rounds still in the hopper. So all you do is you just put the nozzle, the feed right down like this to your container, and then you just turn on the hopper, and it'll feed all the rounds back in. So, real easy thing to do. If it gets jammed, there's a little slide on the bottom of it here, and you just pull it. So it'll eject any rounds that might get stuck in there, all right? Just in case. So you can kind of turn on the hopper, and you just shake it out to make sure there's nothing really stuck in there. Because if you don't shake it out when you're done playing, eventually it's like a spin wheel. You're gonna see, because I'm gonna open it up for you. And that spin wheel sometimes gets a couple paintballs in there. If they stay in there, it's not good. They can either dry out and get really hard and they don't feed, or worse, they'll break and it becomes a mess inside the gun. So your hopper is in the package, so I didn't take it out or anything like that. So you're gonna wanna know how to change the batteries. And also, yours comes with a flip top, but you have a speed feed that you're just gonna attach to it. So this is how your hopper works. You're gonna take this and you're gonna pop it up like this. There's a little tab, you're just gonna pull it up, just like that, okay? And when you do that, there's a button on the back of it, and the button, you just push it in, and then you just kind of pull it apart from the back, all right? It clips in, so you'll see, this is like the inside of your hopper, okay? So you have the flip top, all right, where the top actually just pops up for now. There's a little spring inside here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna flip the top up and you're gonna push the spring out. I usually end up breaking the spring. It doesn't seem to work very well when I do it. So I break the spring, and it's because supposedly you'll be able to put it back in, but they don't make it too easy to do that. Pull the lid off, and then you'll see some screws on the bottom here. And what you do is you take those screws out, and the bottom portion will come out, and then you can just load. It kind of separates. And what'll happen is you can just put the speed feed in. It'll have like these little holes that line up in here. You put them in, you mount them, and then your speed feed is good. And then you just tighten the screws down, and there you go. All right. So for your feeder itself, you have to be able to get to the batteries. So what there is like a little tab right here. It's annoying. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But what you do is you pull forward, and you'll kind of you should hear it pop at a certain point, because there it goes. You have to kind of push it hard sometimes. You kind of push it down and in like this, and it'll pop out. So then this part will pop out the back. And then right in there is your batteries. So all you do is you put in your batteries. Remember I said that speed feed, that thing that feeds the balls around? This is it. So like I said, you really don't want to get paintballs stuck in there or whatnot, but that's why you got to shake it out and whatnot. But here's your batteries. So you're gonna put your batteries in, and then what you're gonna do is, there's a little like lip, like right here. And what you do is you take this and you guide it under that little lip right there, okay? And then what you're gonna do is, there's this little back of it. This back thing, basically it comes up just to, so the paintballs spill under gravity into the feed and then down into the gun. So once you get it under that lip, you're gonna push this down until it pops again. So, and you'll know what's in there because it won't come out, all right? So to get it out, you just take this little tab here, you pull it down and forward, it'll pop out. You replace your batteries, you slide it under, you push it down, and there you go. Now to put it back together, there's a little tab on this end, and there's a little slot here. You just slide it into the tab so the edges line up, and then you push this little button in so that it kind of gets over it. You'll see it'll pop back in, and then you just got to lock it back up so it doesn't pop open on you while you're playing. You take this little button and you push it down, and there it is, okay? So that's how you put your batteries in. You'll have your speed feed on there, and you're basically ready to play, all right? So now the good news is you don't have to worry about adjusting your feed neck for it, because now I have it adjusted for you. Remember, your belt, this is your pods in your belt. You wear it so the pods come out upside down. That way you can kind of lean behind you and get it, because it goes around your back, your belt, with your pod pack, all right? So that's that. The only other thing that I'm gonna show you is, that's your basic maintenance right there. Actually, I'll just leave it at that for now. I'll make another video for you, and so you'll know how to do things like if you want to go to automatic mode, and also just how to service and clean your gun, all right? But yeah, that's your first one. So listen, man, enjoy it. You're gonna have a lot of fun with this, and you know, listen, these guns, they'll be relevant for 20 years. I see guys that are still playing with like older guns. They have like this air transfer line in front of them where you can't even like get your hand in here real well, and they're still lights out, you know, playing. They're still playing great. So if you take care of it, it will last you a long time, and it's a great gun. It's a great gun. I have that Etha 2, which is the step down from this, but you'll love it. You really will. All right, buddy.